Hey, what's going on, everybody? Um, I guess I have something that was on my mind that I guess needed to be said to a few people. Um, no, it's nothing crazy. I know some of y'all are like, oh shoot, what he about to say, but it's nothing crazy. It's filtered, as my wife would say. But I was just riding along, um, going to my mom's house, and I was doing some thinking, like I always do. I'm always thinking. My mind is always going. But it's a conversation that I've constantly had with my mom. Her and I talk about this quite frequently, um, as I do with some other people. But it's a conversation about going to church on a regular basis. And here's my thought on it. A lot of people talk about going to church. You need to go to church, or they ask the question, why don't I see you at church? Um, you need to be in church. God wants to see you in church. But my question is, what is a church? What is the church house? What is that building? Aha. It is just a building. Um, that building holds no special qualities. It holds no special powers. It wards off no demons. It wards off no evils. Um, it is just that, just a building. I know some of you are saying, well, how can you say that? Why is he saying this? Is he about to declare that he's an atheist or the antichrist or whatever? No, I'm not saying that. I'm a very serious, God-fearing man. I'm trying to raise obedient, God-fearing children. So, no, none of that. But it's to illustrate a point. Because a lot of people feel that you have to be sitting in those wooden pews inside that brick and mortar building called a church. And I tend to disagree with that. People also feel that live streaming of a church service isn't getting your worship in, because they feel like you have to be sitting in those pews, which I also disagree with, because I feel that as long as you're getting your teaching, as long as you're getting the word, as long as you're studying, nobody can judge your relationship, your spiritual relationship with God. That's between you and Him. Not between you, Him, Mary, Kendra, Michael. It is not between you and everyone else. And furthermore, the church, as described, was not meant to describe a building. The church is God's people. The church is the body of God. It's all of us. It's all of us that have come together as believers in Him. So technically, the building has nothing to do with it. And also, I know you all have heard, where two or more are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst. So even if I'm watching a live stream, guess what? I'm there. I'm still there with all of my fellow believers, getting the word in his name. And guess what? There he is in the midst. Even if I'm on the telephone listening to a worship service with other callers, guess what? There he is in the midst. And I know this video is getting kind of long, so I'm going to wrap it up. But also, I was raised in the church, brought up in the church, helped with Sunday school classes, youth Bible study, was in the choir, gospel drama programs. I pretty much did everything that you could do as a youth in the church. But I've come to realize, as people say, you need to go to church, you need to be in the church, all this, that, there's just as many or more demons in the church, just as many or more spiteful people, hateful people, and people that would love to see your downfall in the church as there are out there in the streets. Because I've met a great number of people in the streets that's probably never set foot in the church. They have more of a godly spirit than those people that I've probably known that's been in the church 40, 50, 60 years. And their spirit is just as ugly and nasty as the mud that you try to avoid after all this snow is going to melt. So, with that argument, tell me, why do I need to go to a church house when I could talk to any number of pastors and get a teaching, or I can live stream my church service and get that teaching without being hindered by this spiteful person, this hateful person, this person wanting to be in my business, trying to ruin something that I have going, or whatever the case is. And then another thing, a lot of the people that say you need to be in the church house, live streaming your church service, isn't going to do anything for you. Be the same ones watching Joyce Meyer, Joel Osteen, T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar. They watch their live streams and claim that they've gotten a great blessing or whatever the case is from watching them. All they're doing is live streaming from their mega churches. And Lord, I'm not even going to get on the mega churches. But, they're watching them. And those aren't even live streamed 90% of the times. Those are recorded. But yet they still feel like they get a blessing and a teaching from those. But I can't live stream my church service from my personal church home. Seems kind of a double standard, don't you think? But this wasn't really to point fingers at anybody. This was just a simple question. It's something to make people think. So in closing, next time you run into a person that you know hasn't been to church in a while, or even someone that you're meeting that's new, that you're trying to get to come to your church home, don't bombard them with, you need to be going to church. God wants to see you in church. All this kind of stuff, because that may be the person that God sent to you to further elevate your spirit, to further connect with him spiritually. You don't know what that person's relationship is with God. So instead of bombarding them to try to make them feel bad, to guilt them into coming to church, Just talk with them. Engage with them. See what type of spirit they have. You never know. That might be the person that makes you a better person. Peace out.